Hello and welcome to another Royal Reviewer live pop-up video. We are most definitely live, and we again, just like yesterday, have a few topics to talk about today. So what we're going to be talking about in this video today is the story about William and Catherine's road traffic accident. Now this accident we'll get into in a little bit, but it was of course caused by the convoy rather than actually William and Catherine themselves. So we'll get into that a little bit later. It is also the Earl and Countess of Wessex's 20th wedding anniversary. My goodness, I cannot believe that's been 20 years. We'll be talking about that. And it's also day 2 of Royal Ascot, so we'll be talking about that. And the final story, Meghan has written a foreword for the Mayhew's annual review. And again, I will be reading that foreword. I think we'll do that story probably last at the end of the video. But before we get into any of those stories, I want to say, I hope you've all had a fabulous day. I know I have. And of course, I want to find the chat room so I can see all of you. Now, I'm not sure many of you will be getting notifications because, as you know, with YouTube, they have a strange kind of rule where if you post more than 3 videos in one day, they tend to not send out notifications. So I'm hoping that some people will be able to make it, but I have already posted 3 videos today. So I'm not holding out much hope, but I'm hoping some people can. I know I have 22 watching right now, and normally by now we have a few more, so I think that whole YouTube thing is actually true. I don't think they send out notifications past 3 videos, your first 3 videos. Hello to Michelle, who has made it, who says good afternoon. Well, I think I can't wait around for everyone to turn up, so I'm imagining most people will be watching this video on catch up after it's finished. So let's start with William and Catherine's road traffic accident. Now, what I'm going to do is post the link into the chat room. I will also, after this video has gone live, pop the link into the description so that you can open it up and follow the story along with me. There are a few photographs, and like I say, it's mainly for the photos. So there we go. I've just popped the link in the chat room, so do open up that window, and we will get going. So, oh, hang on, no, wait a minute. What have I just done? No, I put the wrong link in. Hang on. Ah, you can tell this is live. Right, let me go back. So, I think I've just posted the link to the wrong window. Hang on. Right. That's better. There we go. Right, follow that one. Open that one. And that one should work. There we go. It's live. Let's roll with the punches, shall we? So, the article is a Daily Mail article, and it starts off by saying, was the royal crash rider on the wrong side of the road? Well, I'm going to answer that straight away and say no. And also we'll talk a bit about the story. So it was an 83-year-old lady who unfortunately got injured in the convoy. So this was on the way to Garterday, and hang on just a second. Yes, it was on the way to Garterday, and what normally happens is there are outriders on motorcycles who kind of clear the way for the main convoy to come through safely. Now, it's all designed, supposed to be for safety. So the outriders can go on either side of the road. There is no right or wrong way. They are the police, so they can go on either side of the road, and it is to clear the way. Now, it's unsure exactly what happened, whether the 83-year-old lady was stepping out into the path of the oncoming motorcycle or not. The article doesn't really make that very clear. So, but anyway, the end result was that an 83-year-old lady was knocked over and is now in hospital with serious injuries as a result of some kind of collision with this motorcycle. So if we go down, it says the 83-year-old lady remains in a critical condition in London after the crash. It happened on Upper Richmond Road in southwest London as a convoy escorting the Duke and Duchess to Windsor. Hang on, that doesn't read right. As a convoy escorted the Duke and Duchess to Windsor. There we go. That sounds a bit better that time. William and Catherine were travelling to join the Queen for the Order of the Garter ceremony at Windsor Castle. A spokesman for the royal couple told the Mail they were deeply concerned and saddened and had been in touch with the victim's family. Flowers have been sent. So, William and Catherine themselves have acknowledged, obviously, that this happened, and they have been in touch and sent flowers. So I think everyone's just really, really hoping that this lady pulls through. And like I said, I'm not entirely sure what these injuries are, but obviously they will be typical in terms of collisions. It does mention further down a little bit about a shattered pelvis, so perhaps it is that. It could be more than that. And there is a photograph of the scene, so I'm hoping you're looking at the motorcycle. It's turned on its side, and it looks like it's where a crossing is. It's where there are traffic lights. So it looks like a point where people would be crossing. So I'm wondering whether the lady was trying to cross the road and then got hit. It's like I say, at this point it's kind of unclear. Then of course it has photographs of the Range Rover that the Duke and Duchess were being carried in themselves, and a video of the ambulance. There is actually a video footage of the lady being put on the ambulance on stretchers. So if you want to watch that, that is there for you also. Like I say, it's not confirmed whether she was struck or whether she fell. This incident will be investigated, and everything has been currently in line with security procedures, and the convoy kept driving. So there we go. That's basically what the story is. So the incident is under investigation, and I'm sure in the future we will perhaps have further details on this. But I think everybody, just trying to find the chat room again. Hang on just a second. There we go. But I think everybody just wishes whoever the lady is that she obviously recovers fully and safely. So I'm going to give my best wishes to the lady and of course her family, who I'm sure are supporting her through this hard time. And if anyone does have any further details of what happened, please leave a comment. If you are a family member of the lady and you're watching this, please leave a message and update me so that I can update my viewers on how she is doing, because I'm sure everybody is concerned. But no, in terms of wrong side of the road, there is no right or wrong side of the road when you are a police escort outrider. I think they're known as SEGs. But it is obviously deeply unfortunate that this lady was caught up in it and got hurt. There we go. We've got a few more people watching right now. Notifications may be going out. Sandy P says, "Hi Elliot, why does the Duke of Westminster was positioned Duke if he wasn't part of the royal family?" Not all dukes and aristocracy are part of the royal family. That is a long-standing dukedom which has been passed down through that line of the family. But just because you're a duke doesn't mean that you are royal. You can have non-royal dukes, just the same as earls and barons and marquises and all the rest of it. Carolyn says, "Praying for the lady, get well soon." And PJR says, "Off with his head." Well, again, it wasn't Catherine and William's fault. It was just the lady got caught up in the outriders. But I'm sure William and Catherine were told about this as soon as their vehicle got to Windsor, and of course they immediately sent out their condolences and some flowers, I do believe. So there we go. That was kind of that story, and that is all we know at present about this story. Moving on, it is the Earl and Countess of Wessex's 20th wedding anniversary. My goodness, doesn't time fly? I remember back in 1999 when they were getting married, and it was televised, and it was St George's Chapel in Windsor, and I remember it all like it was yesterday. She came out with this amazing kind of pearl, white pearl with some black pearls in a cross, looking very gothic, and of course she debuted her new tiara. She looked amazing in her wedding gown, and you might still be able to find their wedding video on YouTube. I'm not entirely sure, but I remember watching it on TV at the time, and it was quite a spectacle. It was It was when the monarchy was just starting to regain a little bit of popularity again since a little bit of a slump post Diana. Um, so it was on that it kind of emerged where people were kind of really starting to get behind the royal family again in the public conscience, and it was just a really joyous time to celebrate. I remember it well. Lots of people saying happy wedding anniversary. Now, I am going to read a little bit about their marriage. So sit back and listen. Edward met Sophie Rhys-Jones, as she was known. In fact, she was referred to as Sophie Rhys-Jones for quite a while, but now I think people call her either Sophie Wessex, or the Countess of Wessex. She was then a public relations executive with her own firm in 1994. Their engagement was announced on the 6th of January 1999. Edward proposed to Sophie with an Asprey and Garrard engagement ring worth an estimated £105,000 at the time. It's a 2-carat oval diamond flanked by 2 heart-shaped gemstones set in 18-carat white gold. Their wedding took place on the 19th of June 1999 in St George's Chapel at Windsor. This was a departure from the weddings of his elder brothers, which were large formal events in Westminster Abbey and St Paul's Cathedral, and had ended in divorce. On his wedding day, Prince Edward was created the Earl of Wessex and the subsidiary title of Viscount Severn, derived from the Welsh roots of the Countess's family. Breaking from a tradition whereby sons of the sovereign were created royal dukes, it was however revealed that the Queen wishes that he be elevated from the rank of Earl to Duke of Edinburgh after that dukedom, held by Prince Philip since 1947, reverts to the crown after the death of the current Duke and the Queen, and for his children to be styled as the children of an Earl rather than as Prince or Princess or Royal Highness. He and his wife have 2 children, Lady Louise Windsor, born the 8th of November 2003, and James Viscount Severn, born the 17th of December 2007, and they reside at Bagshot Park in Surrey. By the way, it's huge. It's a little known royal home, and it is massive. If you type in Bagshot Park, it is a huge, sprawling mansion, probably one of the biggest. While their private residence is Bagshot Park, their office and official London residence is based at Buckingham Palace, as are Harry and Meghan's now. So, of course, this kind of confirms, obviously, what's happening with Harry and Meghan is in line with the Queen's other family members who are working royals. So I just wanted to say how much time has flown, and a big, big, happy, congratulatory 20th wedding anniversary to the Earl and Countess of Wessex. Have a fabulous day. Let's see what people are saying. DC says the wedding video is posted today on the Facebook page. What, the whole wedding video? On whose Facebook page? On the royal families? PJR says, I watched the wedding too. Sophie was and is lovely. Didn't see Prince Edward design the pearl cross that Sophie wore. I think there was some kind of personalisation with the jewellery. And I've only found at least one other occasion when, I know of one other occasion when she's worn that cross. Now, I like it. I like the sort of black pearls and pearls. Maybe it's become a little bit out of fashion these days, but I would like to see her wear that more. Lots of people wishing that the elderly lady gets better. Lauren L says, I remember the wedding, it was beautiful. And she says, back then they used to compare Sophie to Princess Diana. She did have that look about her, especially with the hair. Sophie's hairstyle was very sort of Diana of the time. But then again, that hairstyle was quite popular back then, probably popularised mostly by Diana herself. But yes, it's just a really nice occasion to remember. And of course today, day 2 of Royal Ascot. So I'm going to post the link to that. So just bear with me a second while I find it. Hang on. Here we go. So I have loads of windows open. So I'm going to post the link now. So I'll give you all a moment to get that one open. Cookies and Cream says, I hope the lady will be okay. The media kept this silent for a couple of days. Had it been the convoy for the Sussexes, the media would have jumped on it right away and somehow blamed Duchess Meghan. Well, let me just see when that article was written. Oh no, I think I've just clicked it off. Let's have a look. Hang on, just a second. I'll open it again and then see. So that article was posted on the 18th. So that was yesterday, and of course, the Garter Day was... Yeah, it was only a day. It was a day later, I think it was reported. So I'm hoping everyone has that link open. Carolyn says, pearls are always in style. Well, they are in my book, most definitely. Okay, so I hope you've all got that open. So it's day 2 of Royal Ascot, and I'm going to be reviewing the photos. So let's skip down. I won't be paying too much attention to the article itself. Okay, first picture of the Queen and Camilla. Now, the Queen, I do believe, is wearing... hang on, have I got the right one? Just bear with me just a second. Yes, that's right. Sorry, I'm getting all my Royal Ascots mixed up. So, the Queen is wearing, again, like a pale blue colour. Now, I definitely think there's been a memo going out this year because the royals in the carriages all look particularly well matched in terms of colours. So the Queen, I think, is wearing the Prince Albert brooch. I have my own replica, so I recognise it quite well. So this was Queen Victoria's. It was a gift from Prince Albert to Queen Victoria. The Queen is wearing pearls. I can see them peeking out from her coat, from her jacket, and pearl earrings, and a beautiful floral hat. Camilla's hat looks impeccable. I love the colour on her. What is it? A kind of like a sea colour. I'm going to call it like a sea colour, maybe sea breeze. And she teamed it with a fabulous emerald choker, an emerald and pearl choker, which just looks stunning. And of course I can see Prince Charles as well. The Queen looking very happy. Now when they all came out with the carriages, it was slightly raining. Not a lot. Lots of people have been saying, well, why wasn't Camilla holding the umbrella over the Queen? I think at that point it was slightly drizzling, but there wasn't terribly too much rain, because shortly after they came out, Camilla actually put the umbrella down. So I think she had it up thinking there might be rain, but there wasn't really a lot. And the Queen seemed completely unconcerned about any kind of bad weather during that carriage ride. Then later, once they disembarked from the carriages, the rain did start to pick up and out came the umbrellas again. Like I've been saying for the past week and a half, maybe 2 weeks now, it has been almost non-stop rain here in the UK. It's not been too bad here in Shropshire today, but it has been just wet. Perpetual wet all the way through. So the next 2 pictures are the Queen holding her Fulton birdcage umbrella, which I have, and I do believe hers is in silver. I think that's a silver colour. So there she is, bearing the brunt of the weather. And also in the carriage she's holding the umbrella too. Look at the people on the bench. They are wrapped up in plastic cagoules with their umbrellas out. And I think it was quite windy as well. Now we see 3 ladies. We see 3 ladies with different hats. Now I like the first hat with the little pink flowers. Ooh, what's the end hat? It looks like some kind of sea anemone in blue. I'm not quite sure what I think about those hats. Camilla again with her umbrella, with a nude pair of shoes. Charles with his really beautiful umbrella. Now I did look up his umbrella, and they are very expensive. They can be up to about £600 in the UK, his umbrella. Then we see the Earl and Countess of Wessex, of course their 20th wedding anniversary. So looking very happy indeed to be there. And of course getting to spend time with the Queen. Now of course William and Catherine weren't there this time. Harry and Meghan went, ooh, look at that photograph with a sea of umbrellas. I'm looking at one with a sea of umbrellas. Meghan and Harry weren't there. It's unsure whether William and Catherine or Meghan and Harry will make it again. I mean, obviously William and Catherine were there yesterday. They may appear again. We may see Meghan and Harry. I'm not entirely sure. Obviously they haven't announced it, or else the press would have been all over it like a rash. So I guess it's just a bit like Trooping the Colour. If we see them, great. If not, then obviously she's resting and enjoying being a new mum. So, although it would be nice, I mean, Royal Ascot going into the royal box and the royal enclosure is nice, and also it's a nice time to catch up, and it's a really good, jolly type of mood. We saw yesterday how the royals were interacting with each other. William and Catherine were interacting with Zara and Mike Tyndall, and yes, it was all just a really big, happy, joyous mood. So I think it would be good for Meghan to get out and have a little bit of family fun, just like I'm sure she had at Trooping the Colour. So it would be nice to see her, but I'm not terribly concerned if we don't. It's just that she's having a good family time back at Frogmore. So nice to see her if we do. Now I don't think there's any other particularly... Oh, Princess Anne waving. It's like she's going, woohoo, hello mom, woohoo. She's waving as the carriage passes. Now Princess Anne looking very dapper too, wearing a pair of gloves, and she's got a horse emblem on her hat. It could be a badge, maybe a horse pin. Of course, Princess Anne, a very big equestrian herself, equestrian lady. Then just loads of shots in the carriage. Now, Prince and Princess Michael of Kent were also there. Prince Michael of Kent looking very stylish with his beard, and of course Princess Michael of Kent with an abundance of feathers on the back of her outfit. Then we get to see a few pictures of them in the royal box. There we go. Now, one of the pictures says Princess Anne looks shocked by something. I'm not entirely sure whether it's an itch. It could be an itch. I'm not sure whether it's shock or an itch. Then the Duchess of Cornwall in the Prince of Wales stake presents a prize to Frankie Dettori along with Prince Charles. And Princess Anne presents Duke of Cambridge stakes on the second day of Royal Ascot. So there she is doing that. Ooh, what's here? Someone's carriage got stuck, and so they're having to push. Oh no. And yes, lots of pictures of bad weather follow. So yes, you can take a look at that article at leisure, but I just thought I'd kind of do a quick skip through for you all. Let's see what people are saying. Live, Love and Laugh says, I'm sure Catherine didn't go to Ascot last year. She did, but I can't remember what days. Of course, remember, it's a 5-day event, so they all can't attend all days. The Queen does, because the Queen absolutely loves horses, but it's just a chance for the family to attend whenever they can make it on those days. And of course, the Queen to treat some friends as well. We saw today in the 4th carriage were some of the Queen's friends. It was a treat from the Queen to be in the carriage procession. So they don't all have to go on all of those days. Anne Brewer says, I would never attempt to hug the Queen. That's not cool. Michelle Obama did, and she got quite a good reception from the hug. But I agree, like a forward hug might be a little bit stifling for Her Majesty. Yes, I have posted a link to those pictures. Let me just post it again. I think that's the one. There we go. That's what I've just been looking at, if you've only just joined. Rose says, Princess Anne is looking better than she has in years. Prince Charles is looking more stately, like a future king. That is true. Trevor Daniel says, I've seen royal family members and close friends hug the Queen in public, of course. There was also a proper curtsy or nod, involved as well. I'm sure I've missed quite a few. Rose says, the Queen looked divine. Camilla is becoming more beautiful with time. Her fashion is impeccable. Trevor Daniel says, 600 for an umbrella. Not only should it keep you dry, it should also be able to control the weather. Yes, like storm. Trevor says, I'm visiting my mother in Ohio, and it's been almost non-stop rain here. And Sandy P says, I think it's bad weather everywhere. Sandy P says, why they can't be involved in politics? They're not allowed even if they're most likely. Well, it's because the politicians are there to do the politics, and the Queen is head of state. And the two in this country are separate. Sandy P says, if the majority of people in the UK love the royal family by 90% of people, why people can't elect the royal family to govern the country and get power back, even in this horrible moment? Because that wouldn't be a constitutional monarchy, which we have, and I don't think the monarchy would probably last if they had complete control. I think democracy is very important to the British people. Um, so yes, I think it's important that we keep the monarchy constitutional and not all powerful. Cookies and Cream says, according to Hello magazine, the accident took place on Monday in Richmond, London. Instead, the media only focused on the false narrative about Prince Philip telling Harry. Oh, that silly story. That is a stupid story about Philip telling Harry not to marry Meghan. It gets a fan flap from me. How on earth would they even know such a thing? Made up. In fact, I saw someone posted in the community group, I think it was a magazine cover from OK in America somewhere. I think it was America. And on the cover, it was just full 100% of a pack of lies. I don't even know how they had the gall to even publish it. Really, I don't. Live, Love and Laugh says, Sandy, they do govern, just not the political aspect. Yes, it's head of state, but it's a constitutional monarchy. Rose says, I read that Michelle Obama is teaching Meghan how to work with the Queen. What? No, my goodness. There we go. So that's kind of that story, all kind of wrapped up. Now, the final story. Meghan, it came to light, obviously, that she's involved. She's patron of the Mayhew. That's one of her charities, and she has written the foreword for their annual review. Now I do have that up, but it's in like a PDF type file, and it's a little bit difficult to negotiate. So I'm going to have to kind of zoom in and squint. So, hang on. This is the foreword from. It says this is a foreword from our patron, Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex. And this is what Meghan wrote. So I'm going to have to squint because it's really small. As a proud rescue dog owner, I know from personal experience the joy that adopting an animal into your home can bring. The role that we as people play in rehoming and rescuing these animals is vital, but the role of organisations such as Mayhew is unparalleled. What initially struck me about Mayhew specifically is their community-based approach, not simply on rehoming animals, but in the preventative care that inhibits those cats and dogs from ending up in shelters in the first place. From Mayhew's global education programmes to their community work on a micro level with the elderly, homeless and vulnerable communities, they actively seek solutions that allow people to stay with their animals and have the support they need to do so. The choice to adopt a pet is a big decision that comes with much responsibility, but infinite return on that investment. It will undoubtedly change your life. As patron of Mayhew, I encourage you to get involved in whatever way you can, either through pet adoption, volunteering, donation, or spreading the word. We are all interconnected, and through these animals we find an even greater link to community and the part we can play. I am proud to support Mayhew and to work alongside them as they continue to improve the lives of animals and people to create more supportive and compassionate communities both in London and internationally. So there we go, that is the foreword for their annual review. Now, I'm not sure if I can link that here. Like I say, it's on like a PDF. Let me see, I think I can link it. So, if you want to take a look at the whole review, there you go. Open that up and see if it takes you to the right place. I'm hoping it does. There we go. Michelle Wahome says, is that the same Andrew Parker Bowles? Yes. Andrew Parker Bowles is Camilla's ex-husband. Disorder Love says, I love the Wessex family. And Sandy P says, yesterday at Australian Media 9 News, Duchess Meghan's friend Lizzie Cundy was spitting some dish about her. It was, what? Meghan's not friends with Lizzie Cundy? What? What? My goodness. No, Lizzie Cundy's some footballer's wife or something. No. I've never heard of that friendship, I must say. Although if she was saying disgusting things, then I think that's probably not true. There we go. So that's kind of all of those stories for now. So it's 8:15 here in the UK, and I need to get some dinner on because I'm hungry. And I've been to the gym this morning, so I need to eat some dinner. So I'm hoping we've all had a really good catch up. I know most people will probably be watching this on catch up because lots of notifications didn't go out. But I will be posting new videos tomorrow. So check out the other videos I've posted today, and I may even pop on and do a live chat tomorrow as well. So if you have enjoyed this video, please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media, and also hit that notification bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video. So from me in Shropshire,